Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week. Police responded to a shooting Sunday that took place in a gated community known as the Hideout in Wayne County. The accused 26-year-old shooter, Lucas Aaron Gartrell, managed to injure his parents, Robert and Lisa Gartrell. Gartrell's parents were flown to the hospital for surgery and are now in stable condition. Lucas Gartrell was investigated further and was discovered to have a history of mental health issues, and according to his mother, he is bipolar. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, October 1st at 9 o'clock a.m. The shooting also resulted in the death of the community's 55-year-old security officer, Jose Alberto Duran Jr. The community is now in mourning for the fallen officer, as residents felt safe in Duran's presence. Not all the people knew Duran personally, but they were all aware of his main duty of protection. A house fire in Carbon County took the lives of 5 people, including 4 children, Tuesday. The Carbon County Coroner's Office say they were notified shortly before midnight of a fire involving fatalities on Willow Street in Franklin Township. Troopers reported that when the fire department arrived, the home was fully engulfed on the first floor. According to a statement from Lehighton Area School District Superintendent, 3 of the children were attending the school and were in kindergarten, 1st, and 9th grade. The age of the 4th child has not been released. The state police fire marshal is investigating what caused the fire. The government shut down at midnight after Congress failed to pass a continuing resolution for current funding levels. About 750 federal workers are expected to be furloughed and possibly fired by the Trump administration. Medicare and Medicaid services are expected to continue, although some services may be delayed due to staffing shortages. The president met privately with congressional leaders earlier this week and was unable to negotiate a deal between Democrats and Republicans to prevent the shutdown. The Democrats demanded funding for healthcare subsidies that are soon to expire for millions of Americans under the Affordable Care Act. Republicans have said they are willing to negotiate healthcare funding with Democrats, but only in a conversation separate from keeping the government open. Congress is expected to continue looking for a funding agreement in the days ahead. A 2-month-long investigation by the Hazleton Police Department Narcotics Unit led to an arrest in West Hazleton on Monday. The Narcotics Unit, as part of the Luzerne County Drug Task Force, obtained a felony warrant for Daniel Ortiz and a search warrant for the residence on East Broad Street. During that search, detectives say they found over 30 grams of cocaine, almost $15,000, and a stolen handgun. Ortiz was taken into custody and arraigned on 4 felony counts of delivery of a controlled substance, cocaine, and 2 felony counts of criminal use of a communication facility, cell phone used in the commission of a crime. His bail was set at $150,000, and he is currently housed at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility. Additional charges are pending. A former Tamaqua police officer has pleaded guilty on September 24th to charges involving soliciting sexual content from a minor and engaged in sexual activity with animals while employed by the borough. Christopher J. Cordes was first arrested in 2024 after investigators with the State Attorney General's office accused him of possessing child sexual abuse material and having sexual contact with dogs. He was suspended without pay and later fired from the Tamaqua Police Department. The case was investigated by the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office and the Department of Homeland Security. A judge has ordered a pre-sentencing investigation likely to wrap up by November 20th. Earlier this week on Monday, September 29th, a man was investigated on a sexual offense case. Thomas York Pickett II is accused of sexual assault of a juvenile victim on multiple occasions. These offenses all occurred while Pickett was employed at a Berwick Giant food store. The Criminal Investigation Unit went through with the investigation and then issued an arrest warrant. Pickett was taken into custody after being subdued at his residence near 50 Briar Creek Plaza, Briar Creek Borough. Pickett has been charged with rape, strangulation, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, corruption of minors, sexual assault, and harassment. Pickett was remanded to the Columbia County Prison, unable to post a $50,000 cash bail. Authorities fear that the reported juvenile may not be the only victim of Pickett's actions, so people with information or knows anyone else who is another victim is asked to call Troop N Bloomsburg at 570-387-4261. The Hazleton City Police Department has a warning for parents tonight after a recent string of jewelry thefts. The victims are all children walking home from school. A recent investigation has seen juveniles approaching other children and asking for them to give up their gold chains. The suspects then leave the area before law enforcement can be notified. Police want to remind parents of a few simple tips to keep them safe as they walk home from school. Encourage your child to walk with friends whenever possible. Stick to main roads in well-traveled areas. Do not engage with people you don't know. If something doesn't feel right, get to a safe space and call 911 as soon as possible. Parents are also encouraged to contact police if their child sees anything concerning. Hazleton City Police say an investigation is still ongoing and to contact police with any information. You may soon see an increase to your electricity bill. PPL is seeking an increase to their electric distribution rates. If these new rates are approved, they would come into effect on July 1st of next year. Residential customers would have a near 7% increase to their electric bill. PPL is seeking to increase rates for commercial customers and industrial customers who would see roughly 5.3% and 2.6% on their utility bills respectively. In order for the new rates to be established, PPL must prove that the request rates are reasonable, and the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission will then approve or deny the requests. The company said this request in rate hikes is the first in nearly a decade, with the last hike coming into effect on January 1, 2016. For more information on how to challenge PPL's request and to compare your electricity rates, call the Public Utility Commission at 1-800-692-7380 or visit their website at www.papowerswitch.com. Coming up on WYLN News, we check in with PA State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's weekly update. Plus, WYLN historian Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Summit Hill Part 4. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network, part of Jefferson Health. If you were saved by the bell and made epic mixtapes, it's time for a mammogram. Screenings help find breast cancer early when it's more treatable. Schedule today at lvhn.org/mammo.
Hi, my name is Russ. I'm 4 years old. Tomorrow's good will be quiet and sunny out.
We want your child to be our WYLN weather kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your weather kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
I've got to keep control.
Celebrate the 50th year of the Rocky Horror Show with the Nuremberg Community Players.
You better wise up, get it wise. Picture show.
Join the Nuremberg Community Players on October 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the Rocky Horror Show. Tickets are only $15. Make your reservations fast before this show sells out.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman. Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
And you will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nesquebec and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
no matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
PPW High Voltage is back. Join us for all the hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action that only PPW Wrestling can bring you. Join us each and every week as we bring you the action from the Slatington Expo Center, Saturdays at 4:30, Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN. PPW Wrestling, the best in independent wrestling.
This is State Representative Dane Watrow of the 116th Legislative District with some news you can use. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, with the month serving as an opportunity to reflect on the progress we've made regarding breast cancer and the work that still lies ahead. Cancer is the #2 cause of death among women and the second leading cause of cancer death. Last year in Pennsylvania, more than 13,000 women were diagnosed with breast cancer, according to the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, and 1 in 8 women are projected to get breast cancer in their lifetime. That's why early detection is critical. The American Cancer Society says women have a better than 99% 5-year survival rate when breast cancer is detected at its earliest localized stage, when treatment is typically more effective and less extensive. Screening mammograms can detect breast cancer before you can feel it or before it causes symptoms, leading to earlier treatment and better outcomes. Mammograms have been shown to reduce breast cancer death by 22%. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is a great reminder to take action and talk to your healthcare provider about breast cancer screening and figure out what's best for you.
Welcome back to this edition of Feel Good Friday. I'm here with Dr. Russell Hogue. Dr. Russ, today we're going to talk about the lower back.
Yes, that's probably makes up more than half of my practice. And we're going to talk first of all about what's normal in a low back. If I look at an x-ray or an MRI, what's consistent with average or normal, and then abnormal things, misalignment, subluxations, disc herniations, stenosis, what kind of symptoms they can cause, how they can develop. Is it trauma? Is it degeneration? Is it both? So we'll try to clear up some of the mystery about that and inform you at the same time as to what the kind of things that we treat.
Sounds perfect. Well, thank you for joining us on this edition of Feel Good Friday.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay.
For a better customer experience, visit Fairway Subaru in Hazleton. Fairway Subaru has been providing generations of customers with Subarus. With exceptional customer service they've come to expect. Check out our selection in person or at fairwaysubaru.com. Fairway Subaru, the right car, the right price, the right dealer.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Pete Casalicka in the greater Hazleton area today.
Are you sitting at home living in pain? Maybe it's in your hands, maybe your back or your hips. The good news is you don't need to live in pain. Why? Because there is Omega XL, a one-of-a-kind, natural, powerful joint relief supplement created from the green lip mussels of New Zealand. drug-free, non-habit forming. It's small, easy to swallow, and it's backed by more than 40 years of clinical research. As I was getting older, my joints started to feel that wear and tear. But then I tried Omega XL, and it changed my life. If you're experiencing daily aches and pains due to aging and overuse, try Omega XL and see the difference it can make in your life.
Buy one, get two free. 2 bottles of Omega XL plus Vitamin XL D3, a value of more than $85. Call today and you pay only $39.95. Plus, you have nothing to lose because it's backed by our 60-day money-back guarantee. Call now.
It's high school football time on Wyln TV 35. Check out the game of the week and join the entire Wyln sports team as they bring live high school football to you. Watch over the air in Hazleton at 35.1, Berwick at 47.1, or Williamsport at 9.1. Or Service Electric Cable, Channel 7 or 507, or online. The Game of the Week is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Comebacks begin here.
Hi, my name is Wesson. Boys, tomorrow's game will be playing and sunny out.
By 1942, America had been swept into the maelstrom that was World War II. Among those that would be directly caught in the storm was Thomas Breslin, who had been born in Summit Hill in 1885. A graduate of Penn State with a degree in civil and mining engineering, he would make his way to the Philippines, where he had a government contract to survey the island of Cebu. He would meet his eventual wife there and have a street in Cebu City named in his honor years later. He then moved on to Luzon, where he became a prominent, well-known mining engineer. It was in 1941, however, that Japanese forces invaded the Philippines, intent on making the islands part of a greater sphere of influence for them. Although he was a civilian contractor and thus not connected with the government or military, Breslin was named a colonel by American forces and participated in the defense of Bataan. Despite his and the other defenders' best efforts, however, Bataan fell to the Japanese in April 1942. What then followed was the horrific Bataan Death March, where the Japanese troops forced their American and Filipino prisoners to march over 60 miles to detention camps, frequently beating and shooting those who could not keep up. Over 600 American prisoners and over 5,000 Filipino prisoners did not survive the march. After the war, the commanding Japanese general for the march, Masaharu Hama, and 2 of his subordinates would be convicted of war crimes and executed. For Thomas Breslin, though, justice would come too late. Badly weakened by malaria, he proved unable to continue on the march midway through and was hidden in a roadside ditch by his associates to avoid being executed by Japanese troops. He was found and taken home by a local Filipino civilian who tried to nurse him back to health, but in the end, Thomas Breslin died on May 10, 1942. He rests today at Fort William McKinley near Manila. While Breslin was meeting his end, his son Dick Breslin, who had also been captured at Bataan, would go through his own nightmarish time as a prisoner of war. Marched by the Japanese troops to a detention center, Dick would be put through forced labor for the remainder of the war, building an airport near Las Piñas, being forced to work loading coal in the furnaces of a ship near Taiwan, and finally put to work in a lead mine in Japan until he was eventually freed at war's end. Those who had served from Summit Hill came back to a town and region that was changing. Coal was starting to die out, and the mines were starting to collapse. Soon the coal region would find itself with an identity crisis, trying to find its way without its hitherto major industry. Summit Hill would have to face these questions many times over the years. Some things, however, never did change, such as the thrill of being able to go to the movies. The Capitol Theater gave Summit Hill residents this pleasure for many years, screening films until the 1950s. A father and son from Summit Hill would also make a mark in state government in the later years of the 20th century. Thomas McCall had been a prominent member of the Summit Hill and then Panther Valley school boards, as well as a career as a public relations manager for Mack Trucks, before he was elected to the Pennsylvania House of Representatives in 1975. He was served 3 terms in the body before he died on Christmas Eve night, 1981. In a special election, his son Keith McCall was elected to take his seat. Keith would have an even more successful career as a representative, serving 9 terms from 1982 to 2011. During his tenure, he would notably serve as chairman of the House Transportation Committee and was Democratic Majority Whip beginning in 2007. In 2009, he reached the pinnacle of his political career when he was elected as the 138th Speaker of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. McCall held the post for one term before retiring. And even today, Summit Hill residents continue to make a difference in the wider world. Among the most notable of these is knowable geophysicist Maria Zuber, who was interested in planetary science as a young child. She would parlay this dream into degrees at the University of Pennsylvania and Brown University, and a research job at the Goddard Space Flight Center. She will also take a job in the faculty of MIT in 1995, eventually becoming the first woman to lead the university's science department. She was one of the leading scientists behind 2011's Grail mission to study the moon. In 2021, Zuber received her highest honor yet, when she was named by President Joe Biden as co-chairperson of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology.
Hi, my name is Russell, and boys out. Tomorrow's girl will be playing and sunny out.
It's cold out there. Call S.J. Kowalski for the best products and solutions to help lower your energy costs and keep your family safe and comfortable this winter. Our professional team has unparalleled experience with all the latest innovative types of heating systems. We're a Lennox Premier dealer, installing high-quality equipment, providing the ultimate experience in comfort and climate control while being energy efficient. S.J. Kowalski, heating and cooling the way the Earth intended.
This week's episode of Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're going to have a guest, Claudine, and we're going to talk about her experience with chiropractic and some of her personal experience with autoimmune diseases.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know Wyln posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. Wyln, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.